Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole is one of my favorite animated franchises of all time, next to Blue Exorcist, Shaman King, and as of right now, Chainsaw Man. But if you want my brief opinion on the Resident Arc movie, here goes. Shit, I'm always off topic. Oh yeah, the English openings of Yu-Gi-Oh! What makes the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime so great is the storytelling, the entertaining duels to look upon that bring you to the edge of your seat while watching it, the great characters that add to the plot and narrative into the story. They can be relatable, some characters you can root for by wishing for them to get better and improve throughout more episodes you watch, for character growth while working on their mistakes after they're lost in the duels, and to get better as duelists that sometimes can get fleshed out within arcs they're in. And sometimes characters can get shafted or be written off the show for absolutely no reason whatsoever, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Writers, I guess. I could not forgive what they did to Aki or Akiza from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds from the start and end of 5Ds. That shit was absolute criminal. But that's off topic for another day, or maybe not. Last but not least, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings are great in their own way, especially in the Japanese openings that sets the tone for each season and arcs that adds variety of artists, band, that delivers an amazing opening or ending theme with heart and soul, very uplifting, and very deep depending on the songs of that specific opening. Even though I do prefer the Japanese dubs over the English openings, I do respect the English dub that tries to capture what the series is about. Well, mostly, but we'll get that later into the video. When it comes down to the English openings, I feel like Duel Monsters, GX, and 5Ds are basically the talk of the Yu-Gi community when it comes down to the English openings in general, but never talks about the other ones after that, and never been brought up in conversation or never given the spotlight. In fact, I'll talk about every single Yu-Gi-Oh! English openings that has ever been made, then some has never been talked about, from my knowledge at least, and how some openings went down in quality. Without further ado, let's begin, and
it's time to duel, bitches! Huh? Oh shit. This is getting awkward. Cue the Tana card, please, go!
Duel Monsters, or what you guys call it as OG Yu-Gi-Oh! AKA just straight Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever, doesn't matter to me. What else has ever been said about this theme? Some say this really sets the standard for Yu-Gi-Oh! Some say it's extremely iconic. I just couldn't agree more. By giving off that unique sounding vibe, which was kind of rare at the time, that truly stands out between most animes that aired at the time. I feel like this theme is really carried by the Egyptian-like sound to it, which actually makes sense because, this show has heavy Egyptian-like influence within the story. If I can compare the Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening, it would be the show Samurai Jack. If you really think about it, both shows has a theme that revolves around eras from ancient history within the storyline, like Samurai Jack, that's inspired by the Edo period in Japan. And with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, it revolves around ancient Egypt in the narrative from what it's trying to tell in the story. Both shows has the intro that starts with a narration while showcasing what the story is about. Both shows came out in 2001 on American television, while Samurai Jack came a month before Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters has been released worldwide outside Japan. Both Jack and Atem are both serious whenever they're facing foes in a battle or a duel, which is quite interesting. I've made that sort of comparison between completely different series. I thought it was something worth mentioning. And yes, I'm aware of the other versions from the English openings. Let's be completely fucking honest here. There's slightly different changes from seasons 1 and 2 from season 3 and onwards. Is it really saying much? Because it's just some new clips reuse the structure of the original opening from arcs in that season that come across as the new intro theme. Even though it's just the same damn intro, that just become a later trend within the Yu-Gi-Oh openings moving forward. That extremely gives me Beyblade Metal Fusion, Masters, and Fury vibes. Dear God, that gave me 2010 flashback. Why the hell can they make a new intro opening that isn't similar from the original? Lazy bastards. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters opening is great, but extremely memorable from Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, and non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans remembers this as the Yu-Gi-Oh! That started it all, and for more spin-offs to come, thanks to the rapid and massive popularity in the 2000s. And if I had to give Duel Monsters a score, I would give it a 9 out of 10 for me, in my opinion, despite the fact it is claimed as the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening, which I agree, but yet it's kind of overrated. I feel like the opening is extremely overplayed due to the memes, and it really resonated with a lot of people was around for that time. But I feel like there's better openings, but at least the Italian version slaps like a motherfucker, which I recommend listening to, by the way. But then again, at least the visuals make up for it. As of right now, let's segue within the world in Duel Academy and let's get our game on to... Howdy, Slifer Slackers! Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the sequel to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, or the spiritual successor if you will. 2004 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the time to be alive. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Life movie, which was something really big at the time. I also did a video about that over a year ago, so go watch that. The conclusion of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters has concluded after that. There was Capsule Monsters. A desperate attempt to bring back the original Duel Monsters series that isn't worth mentioning in the grand scheme of things. And there was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the second installment of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the very first spin-off series that has birthed more Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-offs yet to come. And the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening to actually have lyrics in the theme song, which is a huge W. But I feel like they really knocked it out of the park with this one. It really captures the early 2000s pretty well, of the guitar that matches the tone for the theme. In my opinion, I think it fits like a damn glove to me. Not only is catchy as hell, I can really listen to this on repeat whenever I please. I feel like 4Kids back then had really taken a risk not only to make the original opening for a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but with the show itself that isn't the original series. I completely get that Duel Monsters sell and the reason why it's extremely popular, but sometimes we need new ideas to make it unique as humanly possible. Which I really respect the team for doing so. I really like the fact that they use catchphrases are mentioned in the opening to me. Sure, the original did that, at least it's not the only thing they say in the theme outside of your move, and it's time to Overall, that's all I had to say in the matter of the GX opening, which I will give it a 9 out of 10. I feel like with this rating is fair to me, that is justified for the score. I couldn't blame anyone for saying this theme really speaks to someone on a personal level. Let's get into New Domino City while revving it up with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. When 5Ds came out, it was considered as a joke for having card games on motorcycle, and it's super serious, which people clown on, especially with the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge that has rise in popularity that started that trend. But according to people, it was considered as a absolute fucking masterpiece of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. As much as I glazed the hell out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, trust me, I have a lot to say about that series in the next segment. But I can see why people really love Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Not only some edgy things in the 2000s, not only anime, but with video games, music as well, that skyrocketed in popularity. I'm not saying that Yu-Gi-Oh! GX didn't have that from the start of that particular series, but it was a bit lighthearted and later on by having some darker moments. But with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, it's way more with darker elements to it, which I really appreciate. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds has so much praise when it came out, especially in the US, and the English opening is considered as the best English anime opening ever. But with Hyperdrive, just like the show, it is a masterpiece that everyone really loves, me included. I don't know how to describe it to you. It's just like listening to a Linkin Park song during the Meteora era, which is the best era and album in my opinion. Come to think of it, just imagine if Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a song featuring Linkin Park. Especially with the Pyramid Light movie, came out a year after the Meteora album release. They could have thrown in a song in that movie they did with the Michael Bay Transformers films. We could have had a power song as a feature from Linkin Park for that film. But instead we had Black Eyed fucking Peas. It's a great band or whatever, but for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, I watched a decent amount of AMVs during my youth. I know that Linkin Park would have fit it perfectly into Yu-Gi-Oh! But with Black Eyed Peas, it feels extremely out of place in the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie CD album. But man, But a Man Can Dream for Linkin Park could have been a feature in that Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie. But back to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Hyperdrive, it's such a great opening to sing along with because it's that damn good. I played the full song of Hyperdrive while writing the script. And not to mention, Hyperdrive wasn't the only opening for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I don't know if you guys remember this, but 4Kids held a contest of choosing English openings for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series at the time. Between 8 different entries, Hyperdrive was so damn beloved, it got chosen as the winner for the official Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's English opening for the series we know to this very day. It made history. I just find it interesting that there's different other themes of the same show. Freaking 8. Counting Hyperdrive, I'm glad that they found the perfect one for 5Ds, even though the Less Ride, Less Duel 5Ds was close in my opinion. But Hyperdrive literally obliterated out of the water. And it's extremely iconic. And it's a 10 out of 10 opening, and the show itself is the best in the franchise, which I would say if I high-fi the sky while feeling the flow with Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Series of all time, the best, its overall peak, fucking cinema.
Hi! Listen, I know this is a bit of an out-of-nowhere appearance in your video, but Henry, I just need to let you know right now that Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal? That shit's ass, bruh! It's cheeks! It's trash! It sucks! I would rather watch paint dry, alright? Hazbin Hotel is more entertaining than whatever the fuck Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is.
Wait, Sedrick? How the hell did you get in my video, man? What?
Because you asked me to be in your video? Why else, dumbass?
Yeah, I forgot about that conversation we had. But that's besides the point. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is peak, bruh. Like, it's fucking peak. What are you talking about?
When a black woman is speaking, you listen and learn. Your little Pokemon knockoff is nothing but a cheap imitation of something that is already great. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is ass!
Get the fuck out of here! Fuck up, man. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, man, is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! series of all time. It has better characters, has better writing, has better world building. That shit is peak, man. That shit is peak.
Everything after Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds sucks!
Get the fuck out of here!
Steve agrees on page 67.
Yes, the fuck it is, Sedrick. Yes, it is. Yugioh Zexal is peak, man. Like, what are you talking about?
Hi, I'm not fuck. I'm fucking Luffy. I'm going to become king of the pirates.
What the? Luffy, what are you doing here?
Come with me, Henry. You need to stop talking about this shit anime and follow me to find the One Piece.
Okay, first of all, Yugioh Zexal is peak. And secondly, I'm not going to spend over 27 years of my existence looking for a non-existent treasure, man. I refuse, man.
Gum gum! Punch!
Ha! Miss! Huh?
Like I was trying to say earlier when I got extremely interrupted, which is Yugioh Zexal, the most underrated and the most underappreciated Yu-Gi-Oh series ever to fans, and especially towards the fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. What I mean by this is because Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was a serious show with older characters and a deep story, but when Zexal came out, it's more of a light-hearted and very colorful, whatever the hell that means. Like every other show isn't colorful, am I right? But in all seriousness, they didn't like the shift of tone with 5Ds to Zexal from an older cast towards a very younger cast of characters, which is kind of valid, but at the same time, as long as the writing is good and the story is solid. But then again, Yugioh Zexal was my very first Yu-Gi-Oh series, next to Duel Monsters in 2011 and 2012, if I can remember. It was thanks to my friends during middle school, which I'm grateful for. I feel like without Yugioh Zexal, I would never got into this entire Yu-Gi-Oh franchise as a whole. That's how much I really love Yugioh Zexal. And eventually, I might do a retrospective of the series one day in the near future. Let's talk about the opening, which is titled Take a Chance. Without me being super biased, because it's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh series of all time, but I'll be fair and honest as possible, I think it's pretty decent, not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like the vocals are kinda off from my first viewing of it. I feel like it's like one of those openings you can listen to at first viewing, and you will find some inconsistency here and there. And after many times you watch it, like more episodes, especially in the English dub, you'll get used to it and say, hey, this shit is such an underrated gem. But overall, it's still a good opening. It's to the point it's iconic to the series. It was featured in an episode in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal 2, a sequel to Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, which I'm going to go over in a bit. Take a Chance is not only an underrated gem, it's the most relatable Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening I have ever heard in the English dub to me. Because it basically embodies of never giving up, challenging yourself by overcoming obstacles, forgetting about the past while looking forward into tomorrow, and life itself, which was a show that I really needed at the time because I was in middle school. It just teach me how to be myself, because life is way too short, by living it the best way I can, which is a good mindset to have. It just makes me think that Yuma is such a great fucking protagonist. He spreads nothing but positivity, which I wish that the original was like that. But the original is kinda like that. But it's only a Tem that only gives out speeches and tell kids not to smoke or whatever that one time.
I know marijuana is harmful. I know it can't improve my game. My friends and I have faced many battles, and we have always dueled without drugs.
Well, besides that, it's more in the way that's showcased rather than telling it. It's kind of compared to the original. I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal expands on the original series, and some concepts that make it a true remake to Duel Monsters. But I'm not going to go into depth with that, even though I kind of did, but I want to say that for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal retrospective in the future, as soon as I rewatch the series again to make that video happen one day. but it's a high 9 out of 10 for me. Let's talk about the sequel to Yugioh Zexal, the series that leads into the end of the World Duel Carnival arc that was in seasons 1 to 2, mostly in season 2, and the start of the whole Barian arc that was introduced with the whole rank up magic spell cards. Let's just say it's basically like the Seal over Calco's arc, but actually fucking good. But giving the opening for this arc has to be the first Yu-Gi-Oh series to, in the English dub, to even have more than one opening. This is why Zexal is peak, guys. The second opening is called Halfway to Forever, which is based off the real life card, spoiler alert, that was revealed in the final episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal in the ceremonial duel between Yuma and Astral. I gotta say that Halfway to Forever is a fine intro. It does delivers from Take a Chance, while feeling like it's a continuation after all. It is a sequel to Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, which really makes sense. I like how it's more upbeat. It is, sure, Take a Chance was like that, but it was more deep and really relatable to me. I really love the guitar and drums that was used in this opening, which carried the whole theme for me, and it's extremely hyped as hell. I wouldn't really mind letting this song played when Zexal 2 in the English dub. The Barian arc is very peak. I really enjoyed his opening, but regardless, both is still very good. Halfway to Forever is an 8 out of 10, but before we jump into Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, did you guys know that there's 2 intros out there that was made by Johnny Yashbosh? I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. But for my Bleach fans out there, he was known for the voice of Ichigo and many other characters. Just for a brief backstory about that situation, it was due a lawsuit between 4Kids and TV Tokyo between the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. The studio Bang Zoom has recorded over 51 or 50 episodes of Zexal. They dropped that dub, but there's a whole video of Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything covering that. But all I can really say in that situation was, it was extremely fucked up, not gonna lie. Just imagine recording over 50 episodes up to ready to air, and all that talent just went to waste so you can recast them at the last minute. And even Johnny has recorded demos openings for the series. I've listened to the openings, they were great, and tried to be faithful as possible to the Japanese, like including the Katobing catchphrase that Yuma does in the Japanese, but in the English dub it's high five the sky, feel the flow. Sure, it's iconic to the series, but honestly it doesn't hold a candle to Katobing in my opinion. Eventually, one day we might see archives for these episodes and to be found to be released into the public, but as of right now, it's sadly lost media until someone from Bang Zoom leaked it, like that one Pipeline movie that was cancelled over a favor of a movie about talking fucking emojis. But I hate to get into that. However, moving on to Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, let's swing into action and lead to the path of victory! Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Not gonna lie, I think that Arc 5 is my least favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I used to really like it when it first aired on Nicktoons at one point, because that first season was pretty good, all to a decent start until seasons 2 to 3, especially the ending, which I could consider as the worst ending for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and everyone agrees. Despite it being a disappointing Yu-Gi-Oh! Series outside of the first season being good, it's the English opening named Can You Feel the Power? With that name like that, it better come with that fucking power.
Oh god, damn. Oh shit, my glasses and shit. That shit's fucking fire, dog.
That shit was peak. What the fuck? Yu-Gi-Oh with rap lyrics and flows? It really feels like in another dimension. No pun intended. For the overall show's plot, this shit is a straight banger. Who the hell was cooking up in the kitchen in the studio with this beat, bro? Holy shit, man. It's pretty damn good. But it sucks that this is the final Yu-Gi-Oh opening with lyrics after this. Can You Feel the Power embodies the early 2000s, but sort of modern, even though it is. It's catchy as hell, reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Get Your Game On theme in a way, but way better. It dethrones Get Your Game On, in my opinion. I'll give it a 10 out of 10 by being one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings. Despite the opening being a certified modern classic, I still think it's not my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I do respect the attempt by making one, but I feel like the story was lacking in seasons 2 to 3. Fun fact, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains actually played Can You Feel the Power playing in the background as a cameo.
Good luck. Like you'll need it.
Decode Talker.
Which is kind of neat. I love it for that. That's all I had to say about Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. What the hell was that manga ending? And remind you, this is the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga ever. Why didn't we get a Friends manga again? Which reminds me to link into the Friends with Yu-Gi-Oh! Friends. And 2 more Rush Duel series to discuss coming up next. By the way, Pendulum Summoning sucks! Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime that's been made by Studio Gallup, who worked on the original and, you guessed it, Vrains, the show that we're currently talking about in this segment of this video. Awesome. For what the show is, it was kind of decent with great ideas, but a little bit too serious for my liking. But there's nothing wrong with having serious moments in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows. That's probably why I really love Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. At least it has a balance of some serious elements and lighthearted. That makes me root for the main characters. But with Yakuza, Yusaku though, his personality is meh to me, and doesn't emote like a blank slate in our RPG. He's not bad, but he's alright, I guess. But what carries the show for me is some of the side characters and the antagonists like Varus. And the duels are pretty cool. And this series consists of speed duels, which is okay, but I do like the link summoning. It teaches you how to use the summoning mechanic, which kept me entertained. And the Japanese opening with the win for Vrains was very good. As you expect for Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings in Japanese, they are always a banger, which I don't really bring up throughout this video, but only showcasing the English openings. But the reason I mentioned this opening in the Japanese in particular, if you compare it to the English dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, it's, well, to put it simply, it sounds like a generic cinematic movie trailer music. It's not bad, but if you compared it to the original, it feels really off without the lyrics. But it does the job done. It doesn't have any personality like Playmaker. However, if someone fits the whole coding computer aspect to it, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for me. It's a whatever opening, not my personal favorite. I got nothing to say about it, but this is the only AI I support. That's it. I am going to put the two Rush Duel series in the same category. Before you guys say that I hate the Rush Duel Yu-Gi-Oh anime and the format, you are sadly mistaken. I mean, granted, I was a part of the hate train, and the reason why I went back into watching every single Yu-Gi-Oh series during the entire pandemic in Japanese dub in order on Crunchyroll. Thanks to the controversy, when they announced Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, because of the whole art style from Studio Gallop to Studio Bridge, which reminds me of the whole Thundercats Roar situation in a way, because of the whole art style change and the whole shows that's dark and serious tones become silly and comedic, which is a whole can of worms I don't want to dive into. Because this shit isn't 2017 Cartoon Reviewer days. But the point is, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s is not a bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Series to me. It's the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Series I watched live from Japan. Thank you, Dylan, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s is extremely overhated in my opinion. And neither I don't think is the best, far from it. I like it for what it is. I do find the Rush Duels to be extremely fun if only Konami decides to release it to the West, which I highly doubt because knowing Konami, they barely advertise their Yu-Gi-Oh! Games by not giving them any promotion. Even if they are, it's the bare minimum. Sometimes silent drops to the point you have to rely on social media for its existence and never be localized to the West, but Japan only, which is why we pirate our damn games. I fucking hate Konami, bruh. They piss me the hell off. Before the anime came to the West, we have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Dawn of the Battle Royale video game for the Nintendo Switch that released on 2021, a year before the English dub for so happened to release on Disney XD to air alongside of Beyblade Burst at the time. The English dub cast for the Nintendo Switch video game has reprised their roles in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s that has been released on June 6 of 2022 on Disney XD and on June 7 on Hulu. That has been advertised as a dark theme show, which I find extremely fucking hilarious because that's not what the series is all about. But I love it for that because that's the way that they advertise it that got me hyped for it, despite the fact Disney XD promo for it isn't accurate to the show, despite being an episodic comedy. But okay then. Since Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's premiered their first episode, and when the opening played again with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains opening, this one doesn't even have lyrics. Of course it doesn't. I mean, I'm kind of mixed with this one. I kind of like the beat of the opening. That reminds me of a Mega Man game theme. That's where my positives end. It's generic for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening. I mean, it's upbeat. That feels with the vibe with the show. It's tolerable, I guess. I just think it's not my personal favorite. It's an automatic skip for me. It's a 4 out of 10 in my book. It's not bad, but I don't mind. It's very average to me. Well, moving on to Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. The final Yu-Gi-Oh! Series as of right now until we get another announcement for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I guess we had to wait and see. In 2022, Go Rush just aired in Japan a while with Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 just aired in the West. But still no card game for the Rush Duel card, sadly. And hell, even the video game isn't even localized to the West, but only Japan, but whatever. I'm going to emulate that bitch anyways. After Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush anime has concluded, on March 30th of 2025, 2 months after the announcement for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush coming to Disney XD on January 11 of this year, which is 2025. I was very excited for the dub because I find Yugioh a good protagonist. A fish out of water story with other main characters like Yuhi and Yumu that teaches him how to duel. Udius believes that Rush Duel leads him into a path in a better future after Udius, an alien soldier that fought wars in outer space in his home planet, and typical Yu-Gi-Oh shit, nothing out of the ordinary for Yu-Gi-Oh standards. It's very interesting. I shall say that Go Rush is better than Yu-Gi-Oh 7's. It's enough for me to get engaged with the story and the lore, which I consider as modern peak Yu-Gi-Oh in my opinion. If you listen to the Japanese opening for Go Rush, that shit is a banger. Within the opening visuals, that was kind of off and didn't sync with the beat from the theme song, but the visuals basically from the teasers from Go Rush. But I'm glad in episode 3, if you're watching the Japanese dub of Go Rush, they improve on the visuals. I guess the reason behind it is not to spoil or what to expect in the next episodes, which is fair. When I was watching this live from Japan, it kind of threw me under a loop that had me scared that they might fuck up a good opening. But I'm glad it's great of what I expect it to be. That opening had me hyped as fuck. I never skipped the opening. When the announcement for the dub, it kind of gave me the expectation the dub opening would be great as the original Japanese. Well, kind of. Again, the opening for the dub doesn't even have lyrics to it, which was a damn shame, but it's fine. When I first looked at it, my initial thoughts were, in the beginning, the music was going into a right direction, the beat was about to drop, that they decided to add lyrics, but in reality, there's no lyrics in the opening until the very end of the opening, when they said the title of the show, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, which was a little something for more lyrics to rival the Beyblade anime, the Beyblade Burst and X shows, respectfully. At least have some lyrics each season or series that has varieties of songs and music, and they're catchy to listen to. Even sometimes I sing to it how good it is. My thoughts on the Go Rush opening for the English dub is decent and a wasted potential despite not having any lyrics to it. I like it. At least I can bop my head to it, which is a plus. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for at least trying to make a good opening at all.
Like, damn, sometimes I just wonder how would Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush would be with actual lyrics, but sadly Konami wouldn't even make that happen if there's ever going to be another Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Fuck it, man. Hey there. Do you wish for that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush opening to have lyrics? Where the hell did you come from? And how did you get into my house? Shut the fuck up! Don't worry about that. I mean, sorry for my outburst, but my name is Boogie267. I have an official copy by Konami Cross Media that was scrapped for the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush opening theme with actual lyrics. Oh, word? Yo, let me see that shit. Yo, what? This is just the same fucking opening, bro. Well, keep watching it. Yo, what the fuck did you just call me? Huh? Nincompoop? Yo, I better be a fucking nincompoop, motherfucker. Alright, bro. What? Lyrics? In a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show? Yo, this is a bop, bro. What the fuck?
All the chains, no retreat, every duel is do or die. Hearts and cards now, it's time to rise and fly.
Cards in my hand, this is the voting, the stars. I can't sing this shit, but oh my god, bro.
Rush beyond, feel the fire burn inside. Break the limits, let the universe collide. Fate is
fucking peak, dog. And it's actually satisfying compared to the original. Where did you find this? Well, I'm glad that you liked it. But I was the one that made it. Oh, you made it? Holy shit, man. Yo, this is fucking fire. This shit's gas, bro. What the fuck? Yo, oh man. Yes, indeed. I've used Suno.
Oh, Suno? Is it like an alternative to FL Studio or some shit?
I know you're probably not gonna like this, but it's AI. AI.
What the hell? AI?
Blade? Wait a minute! Blade? Wait a... That's not comic book accurate! What the fuck? Shut your bitch ass up, motherfucker. I heard your ass using AI. Now we gotta throw our hands, bitch. Well, you wanna duel? Yo, fuck your Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel this and your cards, bitch. Ow, ooh, oh, ow, hey, watch it. What the fuck is wrong, yo? Ow. Yo, Blade! Tag me in so I can whip this motherfucker into shape! And I don't know why I'm wearing this Christmas hat. I thought it was gonna be like a holiday thing for a special occasion, but sorry for breaking the fourth wall like I'm Deadpool or some shit. But fucking Blade, take my hand and tap me up like an OG! Ah! Yo, thank you for the dap, Blade! And now, for my special weapon. Wait a minute, there's more? Oh shit. Daddy needs a pair of sneakers? Oh wait, I got no dice. I'm coming for that ass. Let's go. Ah! Yeah. Let this shit be a fucking lesson, motherfucker. Never resort to fucking AI bullshit, man. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? Just fucking pick up a fucking pencil and create your own shit, man. Man. People like you fucking piss me off, you fucking degenerate piece of dog water.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll stop using AI for my personal benefit.
Like, fuck out of here. Some motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill. I'm fucking out of this hole.
In conclusion, every single Yu-Gi-Oh series is great in their own way. Even certain ones in the writing department can be a bit iffy at times, but regardless, I respect every single series for at least trying to tell an original story from each other to make each series stand out from the rest. I love how this franchise takes risks and does something new to keep it fresh and relevant to others to get into this amazing franchise that Kazuki Takahashi has created. Rest in peace, by the way. This anime is one of a kind that relates to me on a personal level, that taught me how to be my unapologetic self, that inspired me to not give a shit what other people think, because life itself is so damn limited and short to take advantage of what you want to do. Not to mention, I know the term by never giving up is Yu-Gi-Oh's strong suit, but it helps me because in the anime or manga, whatever form of media you experience from Yu-Gi-Oh, it can really help in the long run because it reminds you have something to look forward to, which is a great influence and a good mindset to have. The point is, every single Yu-Gi-Oh opening is good in their own way. Even if I don't consider it as my personal favorite, I do respect them for at least trying to make not only a good dub, an English opening, since most people cannot access the Japanese dub, even though there's like links you can go watch it on. And shit, I even feel bad for Vrains fans. I had to wait until 2021 to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains legally on Pluto TV. If you live in Canada, you are a one lucky bitch because the English dub did exist, but only exclusively to Canada and Teletoon. But okay, it's not like they could have aired it on Nicktoons, but it's cool though. But regardless, maybe in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and if it gets a dub, they might give us that English opening with actual vocals. Just to wrap this all up, thank you guys for watching me talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm extremely sorry for not uploading lately. I just had things on my mind I need to work on, including life stuff. I'll try to make an effort to be more consistent with videos. Hopefully next year, I'll try to deliver that YouTube channel trailer finale, probably soon. It come out once I'm finished with it. I would hate to rush things just for the sake of releasing a half-baked video. With that being said, thank you guys for 10 years on YouTube. It really means a whole lot to me. You guys stayed for so long. I couldn't be grateful enough. Remember to subscribe, like the video, and follow all my socials below. That's where I'm always active on. I'll see you guys next time, and stay super swagalicious, homies.